live. Thank you, everyone, for joining us, and thank you for the anonymous gift donation. Truly, truly appreciate it. Now stop it before you make me cry on the first episode of the new season.
You're making cry.
I'm just saying, there's an upside. If you make me cry, it means I'll take it out on the players, which is always good.
Okay, but this is a double-edged sword now, and I don't know what result I want.
That's how it usually goes. So welcome, everyone, to Up in Smoke, our Shadowrun live play game, playing using the rules of Shadowrun 6th edition. We're kicking off our third major story arc, also let's call it Season 3. Before we go into things, we'll go around the room and everyone introduce themselves and who they are playing. And let's start with my favorite victim. I destroyed this character's life first 5 minutes into the game. Kat?
Yes, he did. And then spent the next 2 seasons just wiping it clean. And now she's got a clean slate. Hi, I'm Kat. At Cleric of Cord on Twitter and lurking in a lot of Discord servers. I play Nico, the street shaman, who again has finally closed the door. No, I won't say she's closed the door in her past, but I think she's put it to rest, literally, in one case. Well, actually, Grifter did it for her, so it's good as done. And so looking forward to seeing who's the next victim. I mean, yeah.
Give me Pete.
One after you.
I'm Pete. I play Grifter, and I blow stuff up and shoot things. Yeah.
All right.
As much as I can. And sometimes bad decisions.
Always bad decisions.
No, not always bad decisions. Sometimes good decisions and excellent planning.
With bad outcomes.
We'll see.
With indifferent outcomes.
See, I would argue more like it's bad decisions, but we handle them so well that outcomes are good.
All right, then, yeah.
And I'm Kim, who plays KTP, the Technomancer, who's frequently keeping her mouth shut and not saying anything bad about Grifter when she knows the decisions he makes are idiotic.
Excellent.
Last but not least.
I mean, when you've introduced as your favorite person to torture, I thought you were going to say me at first.
Oh, no.
But then you were talking about,
historically speaking.
Yeah. I haven't been around long enough to reach that. I'm on deck. But yeah, hi, I'm Diane. I play Sphere, your friendly neighborhood rigger who has not quite too many drones anymore, but enough to cause some trouble and enough to stir up some shit, and likes to, dress flashy and have a good time up until the shit hits the fan, and then it's just survival mode.
That's usually how it goes.
Yeah, I mean, I realize I'm not describing an extraordinary original character here, but they're just a great bunch of fun to play, and I am thoroughly digging the artwork because that is some non-binary finery if I've ever seen it.
I need to make a couple of important shout outs. The first one is to our character artist, Kim Stramet. She does amazing work. You can find her at Kim Stramet on Twitter, and just look up Kim Stramet on Google. You'll get to her site and her portfolio. Delightful. And the second person who's in chat, Megan Murphy, aka Murphy Pop Art, who does everything else, and she is a delight. And you should go hire her just right now. Just go do it. We go in. Welcome to London 2080. Well, at this point, it's likely 2081. We began our adventure with a group of Shadowrunners who were not a group at all, just individuals living out their lives as best they could in this cyberpunk future world. They were gathered together by a man simply known as Blondie, who gathered them to go and take care of a little job, only to then straight up betray them and try to kill them all. They survived, they thrived, and later on were joined by Sphere, who had gone through a very similar situation themselves. The sole survivor of their group, where the previous party had managed to come out unscathed entirely. Nico had found out that she'd been set up. Someone from her past had put her up for the job and the easy kill. Last season, payback was finally had. Sphere, on the other hand, managed to make a very dangerous friend somewhere along the line because of some poor decisions. That dangerous friend was also taken out last season, as they were proving to be a bit of a danger. And in a moment of pure Scanner's glory, KTP popped their head off like a grape.
Can we just forget about this now?
No. We're never going to forget about that. Just like we're never going to forget that Sphere blew up a police station.
So you're putting a moment of great victory next to my greatest shame.
I mean,
Thanks.
there is a reason Flashfire, the dangerous serial killing Decker, wanted to make you their friend and partner.
Did Sphere manage to do that within a few days of knowing the group?
Pretty much.
Like three, I think.
On getting rid of Flashfire, the group also discovered just how much damage this Decker had done and how many lives he had destroyed, including someone that, as far as they knew, was a monster. A scientist who they thought was inhuman, only to discover that this Decker had removed, destroyed every edge, every little bit of humanity from this man. It may have changed some points of view. We ended our last season with the death of Vic, a man from Nico's past, the person who sold her out and had been actively pursuing them to finish the job. And who, along with others, had raised Nico, but had then had a change of heart and realized in his own mind that the methods used to do so were wrong, and that the way Nico herself was raising other urchins and abandoned children was also wrong and had to be violently corrected.
Let's not forget he was also her first love.
That too, it's complicated.
It's complicated. It was complicated. It got a lot easier last time.
Oh, got a lot easier when he was shot by a high-powered rifle that tore him in half. Things get less complicated. The party along the way also made a friend, another one of Nico's old acquaintances from the streets, a man called Harley, leader of a gang, and eventual just a good friend to have around. Not to mention he had real coffee, which is a rarity in these days, where soy calf is the only thing you can find.
And a bathtub.
And a bathtub.
Friends are important. Caffeine is forever.
He too paid a price in protecting the group from that destruction of a police station that we mentioned. Taking the fall, taking the blame. And as far as they all knew, dying in the process. Tortured behind closed doors by the agents of Knight Errant, the private police force belonging to Ares Macrotechnology, one of the primary megacorporations of this world and the manufacturer of a lot of weapons. Then they met a curious cyborg agent of Knight Errant called Hardtack, who was something of a thorn in their side and a constant source of, well, trepidation, if not fear. Though behind the scenes, Hardtack was manipulating events to help them out of some scrapes, including the fact that Grifter had been manipulated into killing a whole bunch of people. It was revealed at the end of our season that Hardtack was Harley himself, taken at the edge of death by an ally and put through the Hardtack program to save his life. His identity kept secret lest someone like Vic or his bosses at Ares could find out. Now we move on to our new season. At the end of our previous season, our characters met with longtime ally and something of majordomo, if not nurse, for their benefactor, Malcolm. This person, Lawrence, met them and asked for them a favor. His employer, his mentor, the likely most important person in his life, Malcolm, was dying. Worst of all, he was letting himself die, refusing any form of treatment that could extend his life in a significant way. Resigned to passing away for some reason, some undisclosed reason, and Lawrence wanted to find out what it is and hopefully change Malcolm's mind. But for that, he needed this group. He needed them to do what they do best. Dive into the shadows and find what people are trying to hide. But before we continue with that, we're going to take a look at the past. We're going to turn the clock round a few months. Fear. It is a cold, misty night in London. You're in a warehouse, waiting for a drop-off. To your side are your comrades in this new venture. You'd been all gathered round for this one job because your skills complemented each other's. But this was the first time you would actually work together. You see on one side the heavily armored and even more heavily enhanced Pincer, your street samurai. A man who almost seems to epitomize the term, carrying a pair of powerful, very hardened katanas that you can tell have been reinforced and from his performance enhanced in ways that go beyond just traditional smithing. Mm-hmm. You see in their very casual look, I mean casual in the sense it's almost like, smart casual. Just see them dressed like a shirt, looking both relaxed, casual, and just effortlessly attractive and interesting. You see about face, the face of your team. The person who talked their way through the door and got you into the facility you were supposed to infiltrate. And the last one you see drinking something rather unhealthy, eating something even more unhealthy, is someone you knew for a few days as bit part. Your decker. Right now fussing over their deck and just waiting like all of you. Spencer approaches. Okay, this client's keeping us waiting far too long. Something's off here. Is it just me, or is there something off?
What, you've never had to wait before?
Yeah, but I don't know. Just something doesn't feel right.
All right, I get you, but I mean, you know the kind of job we're doing. If anything felt right, this is kind of the wrong line of work for it. I don't mean to discount your feelings. Maybe we should just do a sweep.
Let's do that. That'll be it.
Maybe let's just put your mind at ease and make sure there's nothing to worry about.
Yeah, check your weapons just in case.
Sphere just kind of checks the little display.
The drones out.
Yeah, just checking to make sure the various drones are ready to go.
Yeah, you'll send your drones out to just do a perimeter check. Everything seems fine. You're in a rough part of town, so there's a lot of movement outside, but nothing that would be suspicious around here.
Okay.
Then the floor in the middle of the room opens. Almost like a panel sinks and slides away. And then a small elevator brings up a dwarven man, slick back blonde hair, in a white trench coat and white suit with a gray scarf hanging loosely. Well, what do we have here? Seems you did a mighty fine job. You got the package?
I mean, we did get what you asked for, so
All good.
just,
Spencer puts the rifle down. You see that he relaxes. Now the client is here. He moves back to the back of the van you had and pulls out the small box that you had acquired, which you knew was essentially a genetics database with samples from any number of DNA profiles and genetic markers, up to and including those of awakened people and technomancers. You hand him this piece of kit. He puts it down by his feet and hands each of you a cred stick with your payment. And whatever else that he had promised you, you see a notification that it has been sent to you digitally. In your case, Diane, they were the blueprints for what would become your favorite little tank. Someone
toy one day.
The promise being that someone in the know would take care of doing the engineering design for you, just to look up and lock in the structural viability and just all the details of how many guns you can put on this thing.
That's the important part. Oh, that's taken care of now. Let's talk about future jobs. You have more for us?
Got a few things. I'll be in touch. I just need to make sure that this little box that you have delivered is what it's supposed to be, and then I'll be in touch.
It's what it's supposed to be. You know it.
You know how it is. I need to verify.
All right.
I'm just a middleman here.
Can I just say, like, at this point, Sphere's alarm bells would be going off because we've just been paid before the box has been verified.
Yeah.
And
You
there's
see,
like that immediate.
all of you share a look, except Bitpart. Bitpart seemed to you like someone who didn't spend that much time in meat space. So
Gotcha.
this is noise to them.
Yeah. This is just like, okay, we're the background.
Yeah. About Face, though, is sharing a look with you, like something's not right, or, you know, maybe this is not a client you do repeat work for.
Yeah. I think I briefly mentioned this to you once as like a potential thing. I actually want to make it a reality now, given what you're describing. The Sphere's instinct would be recall the drones, and just have them nest along their body. They're not by any means like any sort of military grade armor, but
As your
better than
drones,
air.
as your drones return, and they zip past this client, they glitch. You see their flight pattern just twitch for a moment, and then they land. But though the sensors on them don't detect anything odd, so just likely some environmental condition. It's not the first time that something's interfered with drones flying. Likely won't be the last.
Yeah. At this point in their career, Sphere is still a bit more cocky than cautious. So there's that sort of, I'll fix it when I get home.
Well, I'll be in touch. And he taps the platform is on twice with his feet, and it descends. And once he's gone, it's like he was never there. The depression in the ground just rises up and clears it up. Bitpart then finally seems to notice everything. Something's going on. Oh, cool. So we're done, and I can go back to the important. And his head blows up. Brain, blood, bone spreading all around them, falling on all of you. Immediately, all your drones short circuit and electrocute you. Sphere drops to the ground, barely breathing, gasping as this current courses through you. Fortunately, it seems to be the thing that saves your life, as a hail of gunfire erupts into the warehouse that decimates your group. Pincer is, well, pinned to a wall with what seems to be a metal spike that goes through his body and into the wall, before gunfire just takes care of the rest. And About Face ends up with no face. You lay there for what seemed like hours. You see a team beginning to do a sweep, just making sure that the targets are done. And then you take one painful breath and you're aware that you have seconds to live. Quickly punch in the code and your car just breaks through into the warehouse and gets next to you just quickly enough for you to crawl inside and drive away. Your body aching, everyone around you dead, you're covered in blood, not yours, but still. And you drive away.
Yeah.
The sole survivor of this encounter.
Not even driving, just punching in the return command and laying in the footwell, cowering and trying not to scream in agony from the electrical burns.
In a few coming days, you would still not find anything wrong with your drones. Whatever had happened to them, it's like something tampered with them without introducing any code or even hijacking your signal. Remained a bit of a mystery until, well, recently, when you finally discovered that this dwarven fellow and his siblings were awakened in their own capacity. We return to the present. Lawrence is sitting in front of all of you. He looks ragged. Likely hasn't slept properly in about 2 weeks. He looks desperate. Bringing his hands, not so much in a calculating gesture, but likely because he is having some feeling issues from exhaustion, most likely. Sorry, it's not been. I've been awake all night.
Nico puts a mug of coffee in front of him and pours 3 fingers of whiskey into another glass and sets that in front of him.
He takes the coffee first, and you can tell how much his hands are shaking. Malcolm's not talking. I need you to help me find out what I'm gonna be pursuing some leads and sending them to you, but I can't put any money into this. I can't put any of, the money that my money comes from Malcolm. So anything I put in this, he's gonna know. And if he knows, he's gonna block me, and that's gonna be it. So what I'm thinking is we're gonna have to raise some funds. Well, when I say we, I mean you. I have a few people that can put some jobs in your way if you want to take them. I know the kind of risk that this carries, and I wouldn't put you all through this if it wasn't important. You can walk away at any time. I won't judge you.
Nico has been standing kind of behind him, and she just puts her arms around him and leans into him, kisses his cheek, and she goes, we're going to do anything we can and everything we can.
Sphere just takes a quick look at the rest of the group, shrugs, just goes, I'm pretty sure we're done walking away from stuff, aren't we?
Never walk away from Malcolm or Lawrence.
I don't know how long he has left. A few months, maybe. And I'm gonna keep trying to convince him.
I assume he's got access to better medical treatment than we can find. That's am I right?
I'm usually the one who provides his medical treatment, and I'm already exhausting every resource I have to keep him alive.
He's willing himself to die, Sphere.
I have very strong opinions about this, and they're all not in agreement with that sort of choice. Someone's being an idiot here. No offense intended, but some offense intended. Sometimes you gotta save people from themselves.
What I'm trying to do here.
Do you
How
have
come-
any idea?
How come I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for him?
I don't think any of us would be. I know I wouldn't.
Oh, I mean, given the last few months, I'm pretty sure we all owe quite a lot.
I need to do this. I need to. I gotta find a way to save him.
Do you have a place for us to start?
And is it just money that you need, or should we be?
We're gonna.
The money will help pay for information. I already have someone who can give me some things, but funds are required. Problem is, before this, I hadn't thought about it, but everything that I have is linked to Malcolm. So while I could put the money in and pay for it, he's gonna know. And weak or not, Malcolm is, as a decker, about as accomplished as KTP is a technomancer. He can stop me. And if he stops me, and he'll cop me out. And after that, when that's done, it's done. I won't be able to help him anymore.
How much money are we talking about? And Nico is looking over at KTP and Grifter and Sphere because Nico has no clue about how much money.
Or
the
this
group has.
first piece of information, which is all about his past. Because I think that's where something happened in his life in the past with his other identity. I think you mentioned that you had all, I think, spoken to him when you found out his other life as Trent Rockwell. Something happened at that time, but I can't find any information. Records are sealed, and I think he sealed most of them. For me to find that out, I haven't. I'm using the Jackal. But the cost is about 100k New Yen.
Yeah, we can make that happen.
Jackals agreed to waive the money in favor of a job.
Of course.
Of course, yeah.
Or they called it a favor.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a favor if there's a price to pay, but we all know that. Anyway, carry on.
It just. I would do it if I could, if it was even remotely my skill set. But I'm good at certain things, but I can't do all of it.
It's the job.
He hands you essentially a flash drive. That's the job.
Just to be clear, if we can get you 100K, we get out of this job, because I don't know what's in here, but we've been doing a lot of shady deals, and I have been, let's see, burned, shot, blown up, shot again, blown up again, crushed, shot again. I think I got experimented on too. That was a fun ride. The point is, shady deals. I'll do it. But if money will solve it.
I mean, for this first piece of information, yes. It's likely that the cost is going to go up for the others. Because I'm fairly sure this is not going to be the first time we're going to need some information.
I bet your ass. Oh man, listen.
We'll do it. Don't worry about it.
See, there's that can-do attitude I love about this group.
Put in the flash drive and KTP, make let's get our first roll out of the way. KTP, make an intuition electronics roll. And at the same time, Nico, you make an intuition and perception roll.
Oh,
KTP, you immediately notice that this flash drive does not have data. It's executing a command that is burrowing through your security and opening a communication line, likely to the Jackal. But it is essentially dismantling your security.
Can we just pull it out?
Sure, you can.
I would, Grifter, if you do that, Sphere will try and stop you, just to sort of,
Right. Nico, Lawrence is struggling. That's for certain. But every time when he's mentioned that the moment he mentioned that he wouldn't be here without Malcolm, you're fairly certain there's a lot he's not saying. Like he's keeping things back.
I mean, she's not going to pry or anything. I mean, she hasn't moved since she put her arms around him. She hasn't moved. She's just been standing there giving him just human contact. Just letting him know he's not alone.
Oh, this thing is, you could, KGP, you could simply just, open up a few ports and let this communication go through. If you don't, it is going to continue to attempt to just burrow its way out.
I say we open them up.
A hologram appears and you see much in a very Egyptian motif. You see, imagine Anubis in a suit. Jackal-headed in a suit says, "Hello. I figured I would be speaking to you. I had a feeling this would be the group that would take up this task in exchange for the information that is being requested." To preface, it is a pleasure to speak to all of you again. The task I have for you is rather simple. Data acquisition. It is always data acquisition. He does. And his image disappears and it is replaced by a skyscraper. It shows a map of London surrounding it. It's a nondescript office building in the middle of the city. One of many. Only thing is, it's rather nearby from you. It's likely you could walk there. It's about 4 blocks away. This building houses about 10 different minor companies. Some handling government data, others handling private manufacture. The usual. Only, of course, a lot of this is a lie, and this is an As Technology front. This is a research and development facility going up, both up and down. And you see the map move and the tower appear, the skyscraper appears inverted going down. As Technology is working on several interesting projects, including some related to spatial anomalies and breaches into what you would call other places. What I require is all data concerning these other places and all the efforts and all the projects that are being done to both open up pathways and explore them and control them in any way. The security of the location is unknown. The amount of personnel unknown. The danger of the task unknown. But I think the risk is high and very much worth the information you require. Of course, any additional information, data, and material gains you can get from this job, you are free to do with as you wish. And my organization will be amenable to purchasing any additional information or data that you acquire for an extra percentage. That is all. There's a silence that hangs in the air. The Jackal Man appears again. If you require further communication with my organization for this particular task, we will provide certain information that we have available. Building plans, we can provide. We can also provide some information on the matrix conditions inside the building. Unfortunately, their host is inaccessible from the outside. The entire facility in and out is a gigantic Faraday cage. So anything in there can only be accessed from the inside, which means your Technomancer will have to go in with you.
Oh, shit.
And yes, they are likely to have magical defenses as well.
This just gets better and better.
How big of a bomb do we need, I wonder?
Of course, discretion is advised, and as cleanly as you can perform this task, meaning the least amount of bodies, the better. But the priority is the information. So whatever you choose to do, I leave to you. If you don't have any questions, that will be all.
Where did you get that suit?
It was generated digitally by one of my employees. This is not a real appearance, my dear.
Well, I mean, I knew that, but you had to base the suit on something. I mean, it's like Brooks Brothers. What? It's really nice.
He does
Very nice
this,
suit.
and you see about 36 suit samples appear, and realize that the suit he's wearing is essentially a composite made out of multiple samples, screenshots, photos of people on the street. It's essentially a deep fake of a suit.
Nice wardrobe. I don't have any more questions.
Lawrence is keeping quiet because he knows this is already your area of expertise, not his. No questions?
Does it sound like that? There's answers to be had.
2 questions, though I don't expect answers. Or rather, I expect we know the answer to one of these at least, but I'm going to ask anyway. How lethal is what we're going to be facing?
It is a research facility by one of the largest mega corporations on the planet. You can expect extreme prejudice and the fact that anything that happens in there, no one will ever find out about. If you are captured or killed, it's like you won't have ever existed.
I do have one question. Can you get us a list of the, sorry, I have a second question. Can you get us a list of the cover companies located in the building and which floors their offices are on?
Immediately you see an attachment that says company listing. And then another says employee listing.
Thank you.
What was the other question? Looking to Sphere.
Are there any other interested parties that we might contact? Could be of assistance, or at least, oh no, somebody with a grudge against the targets, or, you know.
Too many to
anything
count.
else. Oh no.
I have mentioned it is a major mega corporation. Have you found any of those without people hating them?
No, you're right. It's mostly, I was thinking.
I will provide one piece of information that I think will be relevant to one of you. Recently, a new security chief has been installed in this facility. I don't know where they are in terms of where they live in the city. I don't know where they are in the building, if they are on the upper or lower floors. But an hologram appears of a tall man of mixed heritage, mulatto. So, brown skin, clearly Latino. And Sphere, you know him. You know that's Pincer. Who, as far as you know, should be very dead.
No. Hang on, you got this one wrong. That is. Is that a twin? Are there twins? Tell me that's twins. Because that, correct me if I'm wrong here, should be dead.
You see a full profile of him. It says, name Andrew Lobos, codename Pincer. Grifter, this guy has more cyberware on him than you. Arms, legs, full cyberware. Bone weave, mounted weaponry. This is a walking tank.
I don't mean to alarm anyone here, but the last time I saw this motherfucker, he was staked to a goddamn wall and being turned into a hamburger by bullets. So I don't know how fucking that is real, but now I want to know.
You have a clear memory. You have a clear memory of him being torn to shreds. Hey, Nico?
And Harley was dead. I mean, memories can be fake, changed. Tries not to look at Grifter.
Listen, the only thing that was fuzzy about that day in my memory is the part where I got electrocuted, which admittedly was right around the time when the shredding happened, but I remember the shredding.
I'm just saying.
No one's gotten to me the way they did with Grifter. Sorry. I know we keep referencing you like this, but it's... I feel bad. I'll buy you a beer.
I guess it's nice to be referenced.
Yeah, but, I'd prefer to know you for how much of a badass you are. Anyway, the point is, if that motherfucker survived, that's very bad news, because I don't know how much more dead you can make someone than staking them into a wall and tearing into them with like 5 machine guns. That's pretty dead, right?
Yeah, that's pretty dead.
As you can see, like, the Sphere is trying to maintain composure, but the green of their skin is getting paler.
In your mind, Sphere. Actually, we're gonna have you make.
A roll.
We're gonna have you make your roll. Yeah, you're gonna have to make you make a roll.
Oh, I like rolls. I've been rolling like shit lately. Please let me do something good.
Skill is for this.
What am I rolling?
I'm looking it up real quick.
Yeah.
Actually, make you make a. Have you make a willpower roll?
Ooh, that's a kind of role I haven't done so much.
Get up willpower.
Where is? I know I've got this written down somewhere. Do I?
Know your core attributes.
Yeah. What? Just willpower. Yeah. I went right over that. So 3 dice. Don't fail me now.
No.
Uno.
You all see Sphere go very pale. Sphere, the moment you start talking, you just start hearing the gunfire in your head.
Yeah.
And you start seeing you knew them for a few days. You start seeing your comrades die again. You start seeing the damage that went through them. It's a visceral memory, and you're reacting to that sudden memory.
Yeah. Like beyond all that, you would all see Sphere's left hand beginning to twitch involuntarily. Just the muscle memory of the spasms from the electric shock just coming back. And yeah, despite the way Sphere is talking it gets faster, and it's that sort of, it might sound like nervous excitement, but it essentially is just Sphere slowly unraveling right in front of you. It's just that sort of, okay, but dead is dead. And I mean, dead isn't always dead. We've seen that. We've all been various kinds of dead, right? But that was really dead, and that's not. But who? Grifter, what's the worst you've ever been hurt? I just want to know, like, what can you survive? Because I need to know what you can survive. Because this.
Well, I've never put it completely to the test, but I've been shut up.
Yeah, I mean,
it was close.
I've been shot up, and like
I wouldn't have said beef burgers. I mean, I wasn't that close.
How respectful.
I think you don't need me anymore. Insert this flash drive into your system whenever you wish to initiate contact with my organization. Or, well, you have my number. Until next time. And the thing proceeds. You have the information that he sent on the companies that are on that building and their personnel.
Nico lets go of Lawrence long enough to pour a drink for Sphere, put it in front of them, and then goes back. Because she's remembering a time when Grifter was way too close to death.
Sphere does not notice, actually. Not in this case. This is...
What do you do?
Oh, I have a question. Sorry, I'm going to butt in. I want to ask if it's reasonable to say that, maybe not from the drones themselves, but at the very least, whatever video feeds there would have been from Sphere's car on the day of the ambush, they are kept deep, somewhere on a hard drive that no one else even knows about.
Yes. You would have that backed up.
Okay.
Though I will ask, I mean, systems-wise, it would be backed up. Now, I ask you, given the nature of the event,
Yeah.
would Sphere choose to keep that information, or would they delete it?
Keep it. I think in the beginning, out of a kind of a hot-headed sort of, I'm keeping it to remind me to get revenge. And then eventually keeping it just became a habit, and they don't even really know why they're doing it anymore. Like at this point, the question of who/what is Blondie has been answered, which has made it even more complicated. But that has evolved. But at this point, it's just one of those artifact files. It's around because it's around. Why is it around? Because it has always been around. But now they remember that it's around. And they're going to go and sit down and like wander off muttering to themselves, sit down in front of a screen and review that footage frame by frame in absolute silence.
The footage is, there's not that much because, again, it is from the point of view of your car. So your car pretty much just jumped in. But you do have stills of bit part slumped headless body, of the stain in the wall that About Face became, and of the open gunfire and really almost overkill assault they put on Pincer. And if anyone, does anyone approach to watch this footage? Or is this something Sphere is doing on their own separately?
I mean, it's not being done in secret, so
All right.
the choice is yours.
Yeah, I know. Grifter's quite nosy. I would have thought he would have gone, what you doing?
Grifter, you look at this footage and you have a memory your mind goes back to the first time your group met after that one job and getting fired on, and the fact that you all responded, you returned fire and you managed to take out your assailants. What you're watching is almost like a what if. What if instead of that happening, you had been taken out? And it's almost like you're seeing, for a moment, you're seeing yourselves in the footage, almost as a what if, but then you realize, you all survived. Fear's group did not. And it is vicious. Like these assailants came in and they weren't content with just shooting up, making, center mass shot or, hard shot, headshot just to take out. They were trying to erase them, make them unrecognizable.
Would there be any way of determining, when we had that at the very beginning, that warehouse we were in, would I have enough memory, Griff have enough memory to sort of, is this the same warehouse that we had this?
It in fact is. You see details on it.
Okay,
you don't know how don't know the time difference between when this happened against yours, but it is the same place.
Okay, so like Grifter's watching over Sphere's shoulder, and not that Grifter sort of goes pal, but he goes quiet when he realizes it's the same place, and like you say, that pretty much the same format of what's happened. And he just kind of puts his hand onto Sphere's shoulder.
Let's have you make a roll.
Oh.
Make a logic.
Oh. And firearms?
Let's make it logic and firearms.
Oh, firearms, excellent.
Alternatively, you can roll willpower and intuition, whichever is higher.
There we go. One. And we have the miraculous 3, because that's always what happens.
That is more than enough. You're looking at this footage, and from your mind starts doing, not complex scientific calculations. You're doing tactical calculations. You start doing events math, not number math. You know that from the moment you met Sphere and whatever, the timeline that you kind of were working on, likely what happened with Sphere happened after what happened to you. And you're fairly certain that this assault was put in place and pretty much executed and planned based on their encounter with you. The fact that this assault begins without preamble, blowing a Decker's head off and just opening all gunfire and just taking people out without even a hint of a warning is likely a response to the fact that yours failed. Because they couldn't take you and your group out. They learned from it.
Yeah.
And successfully destroyed Sphere's group. That's what you're getting from that.
Okay. So obviously I'm with Sphere. So can we tell the others about this, or is this like a between you and me thing?
Takes a good 5, maybe even like 10 seconds before Sphere just kind of stops with, oh shit, you're here.
Yeah, I'm here.
I'll be honest, I have no idea what you said, because this is...
What we're watching
Sphere just
here?
kind of goes back a couple of frames and stops it on one where, while blurry, you can definitely make out that like there is what was once a person on the wall being impacted by several rounds at the same time, just like, you're the guns, man. How does someone walk away from this shit?
So Grifter reaches over to his shoulder, turns the monitor off. He goes, come on. We don't really want to discuss that, do we? It's got to be some form of high-tech kind of stuff going on. Either that or it is completely fake. But what I do know is this happened to us. Exact same MO. And really, we need to tell the others.
Do I need to bring the video? Because, I mean...
I don't think anybody needs to see the video again. They all trust me. So when I tell them something...
If they want to see it, they could see it. There's nothing secret here. I mean, you all have heard me talk about it.
Didn't we do a job where they were like growing people in vats?
Yeah, we did.
The first job you ever did?
And clone technology?
Well, that was a hand job, wasn't it? Hand.
Grifter's all about the hand jobs, y'all.
I've forgotten about the hand.
The hand job.
And we have an episode title. Grifter's hand jobs.
Oh, God damn it. Oh, damn it, Pete.
It was. That was one of the best.
What he's
moments.
referring to as
In my
the
day, we
hand
started our
job
careers with hand
One of the
jobs.
best.
was the fact that to bypass security, Grifter cut off a man's hand and kept it as a trophy for fucking ages.
For a hand job.
The hand job.
You can stop repeating.
That wasn't my
I will
fault.
say, I've heard tell that hand jobs can open doors. Get you in all sorts of places.
Oh, God damn it.
This is why you wear waterproof eyeliner, people.
Oh, that is just delightful.
Oh,
Someone clip that.
No, nobody clipped that. I don't think that.
Clip the
We
entire
clipped-
Clip all of it.
if no one else is slipping, because I will. I mean, you've done us all a favor here.
That's going on Twitter a lot.
Oh, really? Anyway.
Anyway,
There is no anyway. There's no casual segue from this.
so you approach the rest of the group with the information that you now have, Grifter.
Yeah, I think we've got to. So I guess wherever me and Sphere have wandered off to, Grifter will wander back to the others. Let's go. I've just been watching some of Sphere's video footage of this shooting, and it bears incredible resemblance to the stuff that happened to us when we first all met. Yeah, if I was going to place money on it, I'd say it's the same warehouse where we got turned over.
So KTP looks at Sphere and goes, "What did you do?"
What do you mean? What did I do?
What did you give Blondie?
God, I don't even remember. It was a case. It was a case. It had some sort of a high-tech thingamy in it. I honestly, at the time, I was just hard up for cash, and he offered me some really, really fucking cool designs. And I thought, yeah.
If Sphere can reclaim that memory.
All right.
Given I mentioned what it was at the beginning of our episode, but in
But obviously,
Sphere-
I don't know that.
If Sphere's state of mind, it may have slipped. Maybe he needs to claim. Let's do a willpower and logic roll. Sorry, willpower and intuition.
Oh, damn.
See if we can reclaim this memory.
Oh, my intuition is slightly lower than my logic, but that you're not. This is amazing. I kind of want to take a picture. I just rolled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
That's 2 then.
Yeah, but it's a great roll.
Like the full details escape you at the moment, but you know it was something to do with genetics.
Yeah.
A database, maybe.
Some sort of biotech stuff. Like, I don't know if it was gene sequencing or gene manipulating or gene Hackman or something, but no, none of y'all watch the classics. Oh God, I need to get a younger audience. Older audience? I don't want an older audience. Sorry, I'm a bit all over the place. I mean, okay, the cards on the table. You want to know how I survived that?
If you want us to help save your ass, then yeah.
No, believe me, this isn't going to be useful information. How I survived is I nearly died. I didn't realize my drones had been hacked. guess they've been hacked. I still don't know entirely what happened. But we got our payment, and then Blondie said it was going to check out what's in the case. And my mind went all like, oh, wait, hang on. That's not right. And I was preparing for, like, you know, my accounts to be wiped or something. I don't know. I thought it was just going to be, we lose our money. Or maybe just, it turns out everything's bogus. So I thought, I'll just take my drones and get out. And then my drones collectively electrocuted the fuck out of me. And when they thought I was dead, they didn't shoot me. And now I have interesting designs.
You've got no idea what was on the files that you gave Blondie, other than that it was some biotech stuff.
Biotech stuff to do with genetics.
Well, then where the fuck did you get it from? Come on, Sphere. Like, give us something to work with here.
Lawrence does interrupt and says, I'm sorry, I know this might be totally important, but what does this have to do with the job?
Oh, sorry, sir. If I may direct your attention to, 1 moment. Sphere's gonna run. Get the video file, essentially, blow it up onto a slightly larger display, and once again freeze it on the point of a clearly visible impaled, what looks suspiciously like the security chief. Yeah, Pincer, like just that sort of, that apparently is the security head of where we're going.
So the cloned him.
Maybe like it's genetic tech, right? Maybe they just picked up the parts and made a lot.
I mean, we've broken into places where they were growing people in vats and shit. So
When you say they were growing people in vats, Karis waves.
This, but darling, you're special.
No, but that makes
She signs that to him.
That makes it.
He just winks at you.
Oh God. I mean, this dude was bad news when he was just some guy with a katana fetish, but now.
Do you have this video? Where did you get that?
Oh, my car's dash cam.
Do you have sound files of him from before?
No.
No. Okay.
All I have is the video. Everything else, when the drones got fried, they lost the data. I got nothing. I'm pretty sure that was part of the ploy. Like, I mean,
Well, I mean, so you know about him. So that gives us some information on how we can get in, right?
We'd have to do some research. I mean, okay, so if they just rebuilt the guy, then like, is it the same guy or is it just the body but with different software? You know, is it like same model but
We'll have to find out, but it's information.
I say we
Yeah.
track this guy.
Yep.
No, for sure.
We need to know if this guy is still Pincer.
I doubt it.
Does he even remember that he's Pincer?
There's only one way to find out, right?
Exactly.
No.
And since when did you guys ever turn down a tracking job?
I'll call him up and invite him out for a beer.
Oh God.
Worst case, you just take his hand and this will be another hand job.
All right.
I had to do it.
I'm
I had
sorry,
to do
my
it.
brain just went spear giving Pincer hand job. Okay, this works.
I had to do it.
Uh,
You also have the listing of companies and list of employees still to go through if you want to check that out.
mm-hmm.
Yep. Nico's gonna kind of again. She hasn't left Lawrence. She's been and she's just gonna kind of whisper in his ear or just say quietly, if you need to take a nap, if you need to crash for a little bit, you can stay here, get a little bit of sleep before you go back. Because you look like you're really, really needed, hon.
You say that he's not responding. You lean in and he's fallen asleep, like in your arms. He just crashed immediately.
She's gonna kind of help him kind of stand up and just take him to a room and let him sleep in the bed.
Wait, hold on 1 second. Hold on. Just want to check something.
Precious.
Cheers. By the way, just gonna walk away for a bit. I was gonna sit down and is actually just gonna spend some time trying to rack their brains and see whatever details they can remember, because digitally, in terms of like data files, there's nothing left other than that video. In part, that was an attempt to purge everything because they considered anything that might connect them to the job to be a danger. And considering what happened, it was just that sort of, I don't care to take any risk. So they're going to be relying on actual physical humanoid memory.
Are you trying to recall?
Yes, indeed.
What is KDP up to?
So I've got a biometric reader. So could I use that to do his scans on Lawrence? Like take his fingerprints, that kind of thing.
Of course you can.
So I know that like Nico, well, KTP is going to do it. Like follow Nico to wherever she takes Lawrence is going to do it. And I'm sure Nico's going to kind of go like, what the hell are you doing? Kind of thing. It's Lawrence. And I'm also assuming that our comms devices can record. Right, so KTP is going to put her comms device next to Lawrence and say it to record. And then she explains to Nico that Lawrence is clearly drunk and drunk people tend to talk in their sleep. And there's stuff that this guy is not telling us.
Drunk, he's exhausted.
This could be the only way that we find out what's gone on between him and Malcolm. There's something he's not telling us, and it could be the key to helping.
That's whatever it is, it's his.
Well, I'm going to leave it there. You want to turn it off, you turn it off. And then KTP turns around and walks out.
Off?
Nico flips it off. Yeah. She knows that there's more to the story, but no, she's not going to pry into that.
As KTP is walking away, she knows that Nico's going to turn it off. So she remotely flips it back on.
I knew it. I was just gonna ask.
Sorry, Nico.
I'm gonna have you make an electronics and logic roll.
Hold on.
I'm gonna give you 2 edge for this roll because this is your domain. This base of operations, this is your system. Every communication that goes through here. This is your hive, basically.
5, 6, 11.
And also, this is your comm. You
11,
have
reroll.
the easiest time in the world.
All right.
And you got 2 edges.
Yeah, I'm going to add that on my list. Yeah, because I've got one on that. There's a couple of 6s in there.
That's the 4.
Did you reroll?
Oh, reroll.
No, just 4.
4.
Or you wait, and the moment Nico is out of the way, you turn your comm back on and set it to record.
I feel so bad.
In fact, with 4 hits, I tell you, you don't just and I'll ask you if you want to go through this. You don't just turn it on; you also turn it on, but essentially make it hide any indication that it's turned on.
Yeah,
Like
totally.
no light, no response. It is simply turned on in a passive way.
Perfect.
Ooh, spicy.
Well, sorry, Nico crossed me last arc.
Oh,
Payback
Oh.
time.
Yeah.
I mean,
Vengeance will
But in all seriousness, KTP thinks she's doing this for the best, like, of the group. If she listens to a recording back the next morning and there's nothing on there, gets deleted, no one needs to know. If she listens to it back and there's something on there, then Nico's just going to have to accept what it is. Whether that's something bad that Lawrence isn't telling us that we need to know about him, or something that helps us save Malcolm. So she kind of sees it as, I don't know, like, I can't think of the phrase, but yeah,
I
she's
know
trying
how
to do something
Nico-
good.
Yeah, I know how Nico's going to react if she finds out. Well, but that's in the
future.
Yeah, that's in the future. I was just gonna say that. I mean, yeah. She turns it off. She makes sure he's covered up, and the lights are off, and she lets him sleep.
Anything else you all want to do in this moment before we go on our break?
Yeah, sorry, just quickly. I'll say that I also get Lawrence's fingerprints on the reader.
That's, not even a roll. That's part of the device function. Are you going to check the data you received, or leave it for later?
But the data from Jekyll. Or
Company and employee records.
Yeah, I think we're gonna start sifting through those right away.
Make an intuition electronics roll.
Is that me?
Yeah.
Is there any way to help on this?
Yeah, you'll give KTP an edge.
Okay.
For the help.
I was just gonna say, because we've done a couple of jobs where we knew we were dealing with Aztec and Aztec employees.
Yeah.
So Nico's going to be helping go through.
So you can either give KTP an edge or an extra 2 dice, whichever you prefer.
I've got 10 dice, so is it worth going for another 2?
Okay, another 2 dice then.
Yeah. Here, I'm going to need from you another willpower and intuition roll.
From
Sphere.
Really?
Oh, from Sphere.
Can't you make me use
5.
logic?
5.
Mm-hmm.
You're listing through, going all through the employee records. And you go through 2 companies. One known as Paraglide Entertainment, and the other one known as Infodrain. And you're basically matching employee records and showing photos and, information on all the employees. And there are 2 faces that go past that sphere your heart stops. They're bit part and about face. And that's where we're going to take our 10-minute break.
No.
That evil chuckle, man.
So that's where we're going to take our 10-minute break. We'll be back in 10 minutes. So everyone can go stretch, have a drink, and we're back with more after the break. See you in a bit.
Wants to learn, or I've decided Nico needs to learn a new spell.
Yeah.
So she's going to make a quick visit to the talismongers at some point.
Is this the anti-KTP spell?
No, this is the her new patron is the Firebringer, and she has a fire spell, so it's time to learn Fireball.
Oh, nice.
And after this little bit with the video of Sphere's group and Blondie and that warehouse, she's got it in her head that it's time to make a little trip down there and blow that fucker up.
As I mentioned, while you're looking through the records of these companies, you pass through a record of a company called Paraglide Entertainment and see one of the employees, and then through another one called Infodrain, and you see another of the employees. Sphere, you recognize their faces. They're one of them you are certain didn't have a head the last time you saw them. Now I need Grifter to make a willpower and intuition roll.
Oh, this is not going to go well, is it? Willpower's more than I thought. Intuition, not so much.
Just roll it over here.
Yeah, roll it over there because the cat's doing the cat thing.
3.
3.
3. There is a face on another company called Taxol. TACSOL, that you recognize. You know, because you had got some files and in the past, and you know, in fact, you realize who she is because even though she's older, the face is one of those faces you cannot forget from your time in the orphanage.
Right, okay.
This is Miranda Allen. It's another one of the Project Adonis kids. The same project that spawned you.
Mm-hmm.
There's another grifter in that building.
For the time being, Grifter's going to keep that to himself. Is that okay?
Up to you. You're the only one who's recognized her.
Yeah.
Fear? Does Fear keep the recognition to themselves as well, or does another mention come in?
Oh yeah, no. This is. I'm trying to decide what the reaction would be like. I think the sort of like the mildly horrified realization is done. At this point, it just turns into an outright. All right, so Pincer was burgered into a wall. That's one thing, but that dude didn't have a head. And I know you don't come back from that. So about that cloning you mentioned.
But why would you kill someone only to clone them?
Well, I mean, I assume because you're experimenting.
And what if they were clones in the first place?
Oh,
that's doing no. Don't bake.
we just divided by 0, didn't we?
Error.
Sphere.exe has stopped working.
No, but in all seriousness,
How many drones have you got?
Oh, enough.
And what's the range on them?
Depends on how many I'm running, but not too far. I mean, on autopilot, I can send them quite a ways. If I plot a course, they can go do their thing, come back. That's one thing. But if you want me to actively run them, okay, brief out of character. Kevin, I think we established like a kilometer roughly at best.
A kilometer is the very edge, like the stretch of it. And by then, even the amount of noise that you're dealing with in terms of getting footage and being able to control the drone is massive. Effective, like that you can, control them without issue, 200 meters.
So it's not, I gotta be in the vicinity.
How large is a city block in London? Sorry, Yank.
I leave that to the actual Brits.
Not that far,
No,
really.
not that far. In London, probably more than you think.
Mm.
I know. I'm trying to think now. I don't really know. 500?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
That sounds about right.
But that would probably be max, right? I would have thought.
Yeah, because everything's
For
so
London.
close. But we basically need someone tailing this pincer guy just to find out what his movements are and if they're movements that Sphere would recognize, like, is he acting the same? Is he going to the same places? That kind of thing. And we also need someone looking at the warehouse.
Are any of these companies hiring? Nico's just come back out of the room. Are any of the companies hiring in the building?
Making an intuition and electronics roll.
That would be you, yeah. 3, 4, 5, and 6. Right?
Also,
Nico's
Kevin,
still learning to read.
before the break, you had me make another roll. The result on that was 2 hits, by the way.
You recognize the two individuals.
Stupid
Okay,
cat
so
saws.
Thank kids.
That's 4.
Or the companies, they're not hiring, but they do use external maintenance companies. Because you find logs of, air conditioning maintenance, computer maintenance, all those sort of things. More like major systems. Like they have they all have IT departments, but major faults and such, they do use external. Plus the building itself, the managers of the building hire, people to take care of bathrooms and infrastructure.
Janitorial services.
Yeah.
I mean, you can learn a lot by cleaning up after people.
Say that again, Kat.
You can learn a lot by cleaning up after people. I can go in and get a job as a janitor, as a maid, or housekeeping.
Good work.
Give it a go.
You come in with me, keep being, you've got access. You're inside the building with access to try and get access. Once we know a little bit more.
Looks like we're going cleaning then. So Sphere Grifter. Who wants pincer and who wants the warehouse? No guns, purely tracking. And she kind of looks at them, points, like make sure they understand that she's being serious.
Okay, but if you think I'm going to be completely unarmed, you're wrong.
If you think I'm going to be slightly unarmed, you're wrong.
I hate to dampen the fun, Grifter, but she's got a point. But
Richard, don't you have to take off an arm to be disarmed?
Say that again for me.
Don't you have to take off one of your arms to actually be like unarmed?
True. But no, obviously, I wouldn't rock up in my.
No, but then he wouldn't have his hand.
Can I volunteer for infiltrating so I can
You
get
can always
away
get
from these
another job.
jokes? I don't.
Oh,
What is it with you people?
Set them up. and
Is
knock
one of
them
you
down.
going to be the file that you have on Pincer does provide an address in the city. So if you're thinking of, following, tracking, it is feasible.
well, we could just swing past, couldn't we, and see what's going on?
Oh, we can just drop by and see what's happening.
Who is going?
Nico volunteers to go in case somebody needs to be invisible. With whoever wants to go. If Sphere wants to go. I mean,
Well, the easiest thing is I can be in the vicinity. I can just do surveillance. Hopefully, not lose any more of my equipment this way. I don't want to say I'm running out because it's gonna be a while before that happens, but I am not as drony as I once was.
would Sphere let Nico sit down in their lap?
Depends on how you approach it. Like if you
Just walked over to
approach,
Pop and sat down to look in your face to have that.
yeah, then it's fine. Like if you approach slowly and deliberately, it's gonna make things a bit like they would be going like, okay, but what's happening now? But if you just sit down, it's like, oh well, that
Yep.
just happened, I guess.
Yep. And Nico's going to go over to Sphere and she's just going to pop down in their lap and she's going to put her hands on their face so that they're looking at her. I know what this feels like. Vic killed everybody from my past except for Harley. I know what this feels like. Take a deep breath. We're here. It hurts. But you have to be able to move through this to get this done. And if you can't, and that's okay, we'll take care of it.
I can do it. I just don't like how many ghosts I'm seeing lately.
I get that.
How many of them seem to be far too flesh and blood for my tastes. I don't like seeing it. I don't like to think about what's behind it. I don't like to think about what motivates it. But I can't very well just pretend it's not happening, can I? So here we are. I watched these people die. I'm not going to say they were my friends. We worked a job together. We cased a joint. We stole some clearly far more valuable than I thought genetic information here, or information on genetics. I'm still not sure. I'm trying to remember that a bit better, but I mean, the dash cam is one thing. What it doesn't see, because it came in late, is I'm really not exaggerating when I say I watched one of their heads explode.
That the limits of what you can handle, we'll deal with the rest.
It's
And then she kisses them on the nose and gets up off of their lap and goes back to looking over the information with KTP.
there's a surprised smile on their face and just this sort of, wait, did Nico just encourage me? Huh. Maybe the universe is good after all. But definitely still shaken, and just the implications of all this, because now about half the people, or rather, it's becoming a running theme for Sphere that the people they thought were dead aren't, and the people they thought aren't dead have been, or aren't quite, or are only, are still somewhat alive. It's a very
Unnerving.
Yeah, I was gonna say like uncomfortable is the wrong word. Frightening, not it either, but it's certainly challenging their perceptions on what the fuck they're really doing at this point,
You're welcome.
and what they may have inadvertently been part of bringing into existence. Just all right. I need to get my hive, and then I'm gonna go and run a bit of a swarm. I'm gonna just do what I do. Only this time I'm gonna do it for the right reasons.
It's Sphere that's going to track Pincer.
God help me, but yeah. So all of the little insect drones are going into the car, and the car is, yeah, I mean, there's a reason they call it the hive now.
Very good. Anyone else want to do anything, or do we move the clock along to the stakeout?
I guess that leaves me with the warehouse, does it? So I might as well go and check the warehouse out.
I'm not even going to make KTP and Nico roll to see if we can find a job or infiltrate those cleaning companies. I think at this point, those are tried and true methods that they've been able to pull off so many times that I'm just going to acknowledge it by just saying you walk into the building with your credentials to work the building.
Nico does need to make a quick trip to her talismongers to go buy a formula for a spell. But yeah, before she shows up for her.
That'll be, I
first
think
job.
in materials, that'll be about 150 new yen.
Okay. Done.
Now,
she's gonna
though,
take-
we're going to go and follow Sphere on this first part of the legwork. This is what you're doing right now, legwork. Sphere, you follow the address the next day, your drones at the ready, and you're close by. How do you approach this situation? Judith?
We don't have any specifics, do we, on like any sort of day-to-day plan?
Oh, you only have an address. Well, presumably they, commute to work.
Okay. Okay, here's how this is gonna go then. Let's see. We'll start off airborne. As a basic test, one of them, because there's, yeah. I'm just gonna send one of the ones that has a camera, just a very basic little fly-sized drone, up towards the perimeter and see if it encounters any interference.
You make it fly, no interference. Only distance noise, but that's normal.
Yeah.
But no jamming, nothing like it.
That's almost suspicious, but sometimes you get a break, so Sphere is going to be cautiously optimistic. We'll do... Okay. Yeah, we're swarming. So I still have 8 of the fruit fly sized drones. They do only have 1 device each, so they're very much split up into what they can do. But basically there's 2 each of camera, directional mic, olfactory sensor, motion sensor. No, wait, it's a bit more split up than that. I'll give you the list sometime, but I actually gave you the list. But yeah, basically, it's...
You have an array, a vast array of sensors.
Yeah,
Pick
essentially.
up any number of data. I would say you straight away, the olfactory one, not going to be very useful out in the city. The sensor is going haywire.
Oh yeah, figured. That's probably not going to do anything, but if it happened to pick up any particularly tasty chemical analyses. But
I mean, this is London. Has a very famous nickname as the Smoke. So you're picking up all sorts of nasty chemicals in the air, which are there on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Your drones are watching. I'm gonna have you make an electronics and an intuition and piloting roll.
Okay, I can do that. I will one day actually remember my numbers, but that's 3s and 4s all around, except for 1 6.
There's 1 success. It takes a while. This is not a task you can fail, but it does take a while. And it also determines the effectiveness of your swarm in terms of observing the area. For the most part, you get nothing. And then you pick up almost at the edge of the vision of one of your drones that pincer, Andrew Lobos, is leaving his apartment building. You see him pretty much putting on a backpack, like clipping it on so it stays put, stretch out, and start walking away. Now I'm going to make a roll. Here, I need you to make an electronics and logic roll.
Why do I feel like I'm about to get fucked?
as you are.
My instincts serve
Don't
me
you have
well.
that +2 as well that you got earlier?
Yeah, I might use that.
Now there is a +2 given to you by folks
Oh.
in the.
It
I'm going to say
was
it straight away. The difficulty I'm putting for this is 4.
good because I have 3 hits, and if I add a +2, that makes a 3 into a 5.
Cool. So you have 4 hits.
I will take a borderline success.
Something pings your drones.
Mhm.
Your drones, with your quick control over them, they are not going to get disabled. They are not going to get infiltrated. But one aspect of it that you cannot prevent is that they have been detected.
Okay.
I'm going to make another roll. I'm going to give you another chance to fight off another, let's call it intrusion. So make another. You can either make a electronics and logic roll or electronics and willpower.
I'm going to stick with logic. We're starting off this season strong. Out of 9 dice, 5 ones.
You have any hits?
2.
2. So you have a glitch. Okay. My roll I have 6 hits.
Tough.
What I'm just gonna say is, for a moment, what I'm gonna say does is your commands to your drones happen at the exact same time that this new countermeasure comes your way. And I'm gonna say the glitch means you are distracted, so you're gonna have a -2 penalty in dice on the next roll that you make. Your drones get pinged. This next intrusion is following the signal to your car. And you just see Pincer stop moving and turn to look straight at you. And he begins to run full pelt towards you.
So I see this happening from the view of the drones, or just like out the window?
Both.
Oh shit.
Oh.
He is running at full speed. People are going out of their, jumping out of his way. And he is just running nonstop, heading for you, and he is picking up speed.
Okay.
Just to give you a hug, surely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, or a high five or something.
Yeah.
It's the friendly kind of hug, the one that takes your breath away.
Contagious.
So Sphere is going to in a familiar tone is going to hit not the return, but because the risk of being traced home is too high, but basically
Stand by.
basically hit it into send it into autopilot towards the nearest parking garage, whatever underground parking there is nearby, send it there. And as soon as the car is underway, how fast is Pincer moving?
I'm going to need you to make an agility and pilot roll. for your driving. And because this has turned into a pursuit.
Yeah.
You have -2 dice.
Oh.
I don't like that. I'm gonna use.
You want some edge?
No. I'll set aside 2 edge for rerolls for now.
Huh?
That's half my pool. I'm gonna need it. Hey chat, who's gonna give me some more bonuses? I mean, I rolled 6 dice. No hits, no glitch, but no hits. So I'm gonna take those 2 rerolls.
Go for it.
1.
You fluster, you scramble and try desperately to get this car in gear and just go. I'm actually gonna. You spent that +2 already, right? So I'm gonna.
Yeah.
Okay. Now there's a +3 from Murphy Pilot Bart. To everyone watching, you can use channel points to give our cast bonuses or rerolls on their dice. You're likely gonna have to need to build the points up first. Just gonna say, if you subscribe to the channel, you get a boost in the number of points. Again, you can help out sooner, and any subscription that you do will help the channel and all the stuff we're going to be doing in the future. Having said so, and the shameless self-promotion complete, you are flustered and you're desperate to put this car in gear, and you kick it in gear and start driving. And you're take a turn and start to accelerate. And for a moment you think, okay, I'm good. And then you look at the rearview mirror and Pinsor is running after you. And he is faster than you. Gravel and asphalt just blowing off behind him as this cyborg is just going full on after you. I need to make another roll. Agility and pilot.
Can I make an argument at this point for logic and pilot?
Okay, I'll allow it.
Do you want some edge?
Yeah.
Wait, I was going to say, why am I doing that? They're the same stat for me.
Yeah, I'm
But
gonna spend.
purely-
I am going to spend edge.
Oh, take some edge,
Yeah.
please.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. I'm giving you 2.
Okay.
I'm giving you an edge.
Yeah, same
I'll
here.
do-
Hey, if I
for
can,
an edge.
if I can get one more, then I can do the
Yeah,
exploding
yeah,
take one
dice.
smaller Vista.
No, I just need. I mean, I've got one from Nico. I can get one from Grifter.
Yep.
Well,
Yeah.
there's one in reserve if you need it.
All right, but for now, I'm just gonna do the exploding dice because.
Guess which one I did.
I hate you. But yeah, so for the just purely in terms of character, this won't actually make a difference. It's the same number of dice in the end.
Roll the
But
dice.
I was gonna say the switch from agility to logic is just that at this point, cold fear has set in, and it's replacing the panic with just rapid calculations.
I am going to give it to you straight.
Yeah.
Oh.
The number of hits you need to beat is 7.
Oh, that's a
I have-
good one.
That's a doozy.
I have 10 dice,
You need to
and I'm
beat,
hoping they don't
you
betray
need to
me.
beat 7 hits.
Then you need
Okay.
to smudge your dice.
I'm gonna tell you outright, unless I get incredibly lucky, this isn't happening.
Oh,
You never know.
I got 2 5s and a 6 out of 10 dice. And I've already used all my bonuses, so
Reroll
if
this.
this one explodes 5 times, then we've got it. Yep, that's a 1.
You tried.
Here. You are controlling this car. You switch over to drone control.
Mm.
You do your best in driving this car down the street. You take a turn, but the car needs to take a certain circumference to make a turn, even the most desperate of them. While this cyborg can skip turns, can take shorter turns, sharper turns, literally grab hold of a lamppost and use it to pivot. And he does exactly that, running until he is side by side from you on the driver's, around where the driver's seat is. I need to make a body roll.
Oh, we've got to that.
Already, huh? Do I have any time to react, or am I reacting after this?
This is your resistance to damage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
This is the consequence of this opposed check.
That's okay. I rolled 3 dice. I got 3 hits.
Right.
Good. That's good.
That's the kind of
Pincer.
percentages I needed.
Pincer bends down while still running and then rises up with a backhand that sends your car flying into a building. The car flies and crashes to the front of a building. Rubble falls on the car. Your windshield just crashes. You have your seatbelt on. It's the only thing that stops you from flying across and becoming a smear. You still take 7 levels of physical damage. You have
Okay, that's 2 tracks completely filled.
You have just taken a severe amount of physical trauma.
Uh-huh.
Your car is now partially embedded in the front of this building. And I'm going to give you a good news and bad news. The good news is that this means authority is going to be coming. The bad news is you don't know if that is enough to make Pincer walk away, or if he's going to continue to acquire you.
Yeah.
Does Sphere have their comm?
Sorry?
I'm going to ask, has Sphere been in contact with the rest of the team as this has been happening? Or at least keeping a comm open?
Yeah, intermittently. Not a continuous thing, just for fear of if there's a continuous line, then anyone trying to hack it might have.
So I'm going to
access.
what I'm going to say is, for the team, you just get a message from Sphere, like, looking over the subject. Then you get a message that says, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. And the next sound you hear is a crash. And the line goes dead. ATP, make a intuition and electronics roll. Also, I'm going to say, Sphere, I'm going to make a simple luck check. This is pure luck. You want 4 to 6.
Okay.
I got
3.
7.
That's the 3. So your legs are pinned. So you're going to have trouble getting out of this car.
Okay.
ATP, you immediately get pinged by a news notification from social media saying that a car has just flown into a building. And you look at it and you see Sphere driving away at high speed, and this almost flash, like a shadow, just pass in front of the camera, get side by side with the car, and then the car just flies and crashes into a building. The crash looks nasty. The damage is impressive. You're not entirely sure Sphere is alive.
am I with Nico now? Are we heading out to the building?
Yeah.
I'm assuming. So I'll show Nico the news and then just say to her, like Harley as a question.
Far away.
Sorry, Kat, say it again.
How far away are we? That's what Nico would ask. So where
You are about, let's, I'm going to make a roll for that. Let's put it at a random distance. You are about 1 kilometer away.
It's nothing. We could run
Let's
there.
go. Yeah. We're on our way.
And then while we're running, I guess we'll get on the comms and tell Grifter what's happened.
Where to meet us?
And
Here, how much health do you have left?
I'm 5 or 6, depending on. 'Cause one thing I forgot is the bone lacing that I have. Does that count towards reducing the damage of this as well, or is that just for like gunfire and small arms?
It just adds to your defense rating.
Okay. Yeah, no, then it's 5. I mean, the sphere's tough.
I know. You lose consciousness for a little time. But then you wake up and you're in the car, covered in dust, covered in glass. You're clearly bleeding. Your legs hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to have you make a straight up just body roll. Another one. Put the difficulty of this at 2.
Remember, there's another edge waiting if you need it, Ty.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask for just that for a reroll because it's only 3
Yeah.
dice. It's not gonna help. I mean, yeah, I've got 1 hit and a 3 and a 4.
You are severely disoriented. So you're going to have a -2 penalty to all actions.
Okay.
In addition to anything that you're getting from the loss of, from the 2 tracks that are full.
So I have a -4.
oh,
So some of these things I'm going to be rolling at a negative.
In that case, you just roll a luck die,
Yeah.
essentially.
You
You wake up in the car and you hear and you sense a movement. Something seems to be digging their way in. I'm going to need a roll of agility and athletics from KTP and Nico.
Okay.
The higher you roll, the least amount of time it's going to take you to get here.
in
Okay,
their
don't have athletics.
good luck. In their very early state, Sphere is actually just going to get on the comms and
do I do the same?
You're
as
not
well?
there.
Okay.
no, but you are about to hear over your radio. The last time you heard Sphere this slurred was after you went on a bit of a bender following that.
Montage.
Yeah, when we went on that ill-advised, let's deal with your mind control thing, and somehow it worked out, and we had a bit of a binge afterwards.
We were pro.
Yeah, we were pro, and then we were properly drunk. Yeah, all the great jokes tonight. But anyway, that's the last time you heard Sphere like this, except this time it doesn't sound like it was a good time. And it's just this sort of, after I'm fucked. Just go. Ping me. Help.
I'm assuming I was already on my way anyway, right? After I heard from you, so
Yeah.
I'm coming. I'm coming as fast as I can.
Grifter, since you were driving away to another location, I'm gonna have you make. I'm gonna just roll again, just to say you're about 5 kilometers away.
Right.
So I'm gonna need you to make an agility and piloting roll to see how fast you can drive without being reckless and raising your own GTA stars.
Right. So I don't have piloting, so it'll just have to be agility, I'm afraid. Come on. 3.
You are pushing the legal limits, but you are effectively weaving your way through traffic, and you will be there soon. You're pretty much going to arrive around the same time as Sphere and Nico are, because they are already winded. Like they're not used to the desperate run down the street.
Right, KTP and Nico are hitting the gym when this is all over.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord, yes.
Oh boy.
I mean, Nico's been trying off and on, but yeah.
Here. You hear movement outside the car. And out the rearview mirror, you see the rubble that is surrounding your car break, and you see a fist come through and begin to drag things, trying to come in.
Okay.
What will you do?
Pretty much anything I want to do is going to be at a luck roll.
Tell me what you want to do. I can also offer you, depending on what you choose to do, to succeed at a cost.
Yeah. I don't see anything yet, do I?
No, you just saw the fist come through. This mechanical fist.
Okay. I have got a shotgun on me.
Okay.
And what I just want to do is get it out and try and steady it towards where I saw the fist come through. And the next time anything shows up, it is getting blasted.
Very well.
That's it. So I don't know if you want me to make a roll for that. If you want me to
No,
just wait and roll.
you're gonna have to make a roll for the attack.
Okay, that's what I figured.
You are aiming as best you can. It is not easy because you're twisting in the seat, and your legs are still pinned.
Mm-hmm. It's not going to be.
The hole widens, and you see Pincer begin to crawl in. Make your attack roll with a -4.
-4.
So that's firearms and agility. So ranged weapons and agility. Well, I'm rolling 2 dice.
I'm removing some dice from his own pool because he has a limited area for movement.
Can I get any of my dice back for having taken the previous action to steady myself?
I'm gonna give you, let's say, 1 die back.
Hey, that gives me 50% more dice. One hit.
You blow a hole in the side of the van, inside of the car. Glass shatters forward, but you do not hit Pincer, and he is still crawling in. Nico, you're about halfway there. Grifter, you are driving like a madman. A legal madman, but madman nonetheless. You are pretty much Jason Statham in like the transporter at this point. Here, what will you do?
Yeah.
What is your next action?
I'm trying to look through what I can do and trying to think of what I can do. It's just one of those like, whatever, shotguns. The recoil alone and the noise of it is just making things worse.
It is quite deafening. I'm just not adding that to the mix.
Yeah. Let's see, the mantis is out of commission. The porcupine is out of commission.
Porcupine will take a while to come in here.
Yeah, it's just the only thing that might have been an option would have been my Eye in the Sky, the Praetor, but even that's still being repaired. So none of my offensive drones are actually operational except for the pursuit, and that's still going to take a while to get here, even if it is essentially a Formula One go-kart.
You're going to try to get yourself out of the pin and maybe shuffle to the other side of the car, put some distance?
I'm going to try something different.
Okay.
I am once again going to wait for the I'm going to wait for the hand to come through once again, and then I want to grab it and hit it with my shot gloves.
I'm going to give you a warning.
Mm-hmm.
The amount of health that this individual has means your shock gloves are likely going to be highly ineffective at stopping them.
I realize this. As a player, I know this. As the character, the problem is the sense of just tunnel vision at this point. The only thing on Sphere's mind is that thing burrowing through the car, as it were, legs pinned, disoriented, can't think straight, just acting purely on there is a threat. What do I do? I don't know.
Three things happen at the same time. I'm going to resolve those roles immediately.
Can I check actually one thing with you?
Yep.
Is the car completely just
the front?
wrecked?
The car is wrecked.
Okay, so it's just not operable in the least.
You can try to turn it on. Right now it's off. The impact just shut it off. You can turn it on, but it's not moving anywhere.
Okay.
The back wheels are in the air. This thing is tilted. The front of it has partially caved in. Mm-hmm. There's rubble all around it. There's still space to move through, move through the car itself. And, you could potentially get out the opposite window, or even the side, though the, driver's side window leads to pincer. The opposite side, you could try to, use, move out of the car or move her further into the car to try to get some distance and delay things. Or you can stay and wait for pincer.
I've just had a terrible idea, but I'm going to do it. Going purely by the fact that I have the jury rigging talent. I know this isn't necessarily jury rigging, but close enough. If my legs are pinned, it means I need to find a way to cut myself loose, and I have these handy dandy forearm snap blades.
Gonna cut off your feet?
No, I mean, it's a car in the future. It's like 95% plastic.
That's true.
So yes, I'm going to fully accept that in the process of doing this in delirium and haste, if my roll is terrible, maybe Sphere will damage themselves a bit more.
I'm gonna put the difficulty at this because of the situation.
Mhm.
How many dice can you roll on an agility in close combat?
Not bad, actually, which is to say 3, taking into account my -4.
Okay, I'm gonna put this difficulty at 2.
Oh,
If you do not succeed, you will deal yourself significant damage.
I can give you one more edge.
If I will allow you to, I can also we can forgo the roll, and I can allow you to succeed at a cost
What is the cost?
or more points of damage.
Mm. Gang, how much do we like to gamble?
It's your move
Yeah.
to do what you feel is best, but with this, you've got 3 edge waiting if you need it.
Yeah. I'm gonna take the roll purely because the other choice would automatically reduce me to 1 health. And too close. Too close.
You want the 3
So-
edge? Do you want the edge?
I will take the edge.
Take those
All right.
edge.
Edge from me.
Yeah, me.
And me.
Okay. I'm using up the entire party's edge at this point.
You've got to do what you got to do.
What was it? Wasn't there with 2 edge that I could take an automatic boost to a dice or something?
With 3 edge, you can get an automatic success.
Okay.
2 edge, you can give a die a +1. You also have a +3 from Megan waiting for you.
Do I? Haven't I used that?
No, you used the +2 that was before there before.
No, I used the +3 as well.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to be honest with that. No, honest about that. I have used both my boosts, and they have given me crap. I appreciate the boosts. Please give me more, but my rolls were too crap. I'm going to take the 3 edge and get an automatic success because I suspect I will need it.
And I will tell you straight away, even with a full success, you're going to still take a bit of damage.
I'm okay with that. But I rolled 1 success, and 3 edge gives me another. It's a 6
You
and 2
then
fours.
to roll your body, which is the penalty applies. So you're going to
I'm gonna
roll
be
likely
making
1 die.
I'm going to be making a luck roll.
Yeah. Take another 2 points of damage.
Oh boy. Shouldn't have bought the serrated ones. They're so
You
cool.
cut
but-
your way through, but it is. You're right. It's mostly plastic, but there are many sharp things, and your legs are not just pinned, but they're under sharp bits that you remove, and they deal damage on the way out.
Oh, God.
You are, without exaggeration, in a tremendous amount of pain.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Nico and KTP, you have just arrived. Grifter, you have just turned the corner. In a dramatically appropriate way, you have all arrived at the same time. Nico, this car has been thrown against a building.
I have line of sight on Pincer.
No. Pincer has already crawled. You can see the back of like one of his boots. As he
Okay,
is
that's fine.
going into this hole.
Even with my improved senses of sight, I can see something.
I see a boot.
I can see a boot. Great. She's been pulling in mana, and as soon as she sees that boot, she's launching a mana bolt at him.
Okay.
Let's see.
Can I ask, is the car still on the ground floor or have it been launched upwards as well?
That's a fortunate thing.
So 14 plus 16. Okay. 4. This is gonna take me a minute to count, guys. Yeah. I think he gets. Let me hang on. Just I don't know if this is a contested roll or not. Let me double check just to be.
There is a defense roll, yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Reaction plus willpower, I think. That is 5 hits.
I rolled 3 hits on the defense, meaning you got 2 net hits.
That's the damage he takes.
2 net hits
Physical.
plus I think your magic halved.
Yeah, I think so. Sorry, I've got like 4 different documents here I'm working with.
How much is your magic?
My magic is 9.
Got an extra 4, 6. I will roll his body.
Just so y'all know, I used to be a paramedic. My brain is, I've got a very clear visual on all of this. It's like, yeah.
Right. So in total of your 6 potential damage, he only took 2.
Okay. I'm trying to distract him. Anything I can do. If I can snap that ankle, distract him, whatever I can do.
Fortunately for you, his ankle is as mechanized as most of him. You do hit him and he does. You can see that he looks back, recognizing another threat.
Okay.
ATP, you have arrived. Grifter, you have arrived. Is there anything you wish to do? Also, Sphere, what is your next action? I will be perfectly clear. This choice you make right now is the most critical choice of this entire episode.
Don't do this to me.
So what we can see the same as Nico could see, right? Which is just a
No longer, you don't see the boot anymore because, the impact kind of shoved it forward. But you do have enhanced sight from your eyes, so you can see that, yes, there is someone in that hole. And if you have, do you have heat vision, heat detection on your eyes?
No, I don't mean I have the heat vision. I have the, just double check, but I'm pretty sure I don't. Magnification.
Magnification, so you can see Pincer in that, in there.
And would I have a sort of a shot to be able to hit, or would it have to go through the car?
You could try to make the shot through the hole that he's just carved in. I'm just going to give you a warning. You are shooting in the middle of the high street, surrounded by people.
Yeah, that's why I'm trying to get a feeling of.
I mean, those people did see an aggressor punch a car into the building, so yeah.
ETP, what will you do?
I want to do a scan. Because I know that you mentioned before about the sort of the authorities on the way, but just to see where they are, how close they are.
Make a logic and intuition and electronics roll.
10.
3.
Authorities are coming, but you notice that the dispatch of emergency services and police seems to be scattered. You notice, with your experience, you know this is a deliberate attempt to delay them from arriving. But it is something you can counteract.
I guess I don't have a choice.
Have you make an intuition and electronics, a logic and electronics roll. Difficulty for this is 3.
Mm-hmm.
The higher you succeed, the faster they'll get here.
Okay. No pressure.
4.
You pretty much, you find the source of all these message transmissions, sending data, conflicting data to the authorities. And essentially, it's almost like a bot creating false trails. You manage to block them out and send to the authorities and emergency responders. You send them the Google Maps route on how to get there, and even footage of what's going on. So they will be here after this action. Here. What action do you take?
In true keeping with everything, I've tried making smart choices today. In true keeping with RPGs, I'm now going to do something profoundly ill-advised.
Okay.
The others are here. I'm aware of this by now. Sort of?
No one's communicated.
Okay.
Though you did see the impact that came through that hole, and it looks very similar to the kind of stuff Nico does.
Okay.
So potentially you have help. To those watching, are things usually this stressful? No, but the kiddie wheels are off this season.
We've had stressful. It's just we usually get a break between them. No, okay. Yeah, it's time to make a profoundly terrible decision. But the other forearm blades, the ones that weren't busy cutting myself free, going to use those. And I want to try and somehow slice into what I assume to be pincer and just draw blood. That's all. I just want to draw blood.
Making opposed attack rolls.
Yeah.
And I do straight away, he is not going to dodge.
Yeah.
I can give you one edge.
This just means who gets the hit in first.
Yeah.
Or you can save it for something else, but that's what
This is
one
it.
edge I
This
can
is
still
it.
give you. Okay.
So
Let me be clear with this. He is not going to avoid that hit.
mhm.
And by launching yourself towards him, you are not going to avoid a hit either.
No. The expectation is, well, basically, I'm hoping I don't die. Anything that leaves me not dead is a success in this case. Doesn't matter how bad, just anything that leaves me not dead.
3 hits.
That's what is that? Agility or strength in close combat?
Ability.
Oh, thank goodness. So that leaves me with still 3 dice, and I will use that edge for a reroll if I need it, which I will. That's okay. 2 hits isn't terrible. I rerolled the 2 and it became a 1, but you know.
You draw blood.
All right. The instant sorry, you first.
He moves towards the driver's side window, going to reach in. You launch yourself and your knives. One of them bites into the left arm, and that's metal. The other one bites into the chest. The weave under the skin stops, but you do draw blood.
Okay. Then the instant I see that, because I know the next second is going to be terrible for me, I'm just going to get on the radio and just say, check the blades, check the blood, find out what the fuck he is.
You meet these eyes. They are 2 red pinpoints of cyber eyes. No recognition toward you. And the only thing you hear is a hiss and the sound of a shotgun cocking. I need you to make a body roll.
Oh.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how well I roll on this, it's bad. I hate that my bone lattice doesn't affect this at all, but 1.
There you take 7 points of physical damage.
Oh.
You have gone into overflow,
Yep,
which means you are dying.
I am 4 points into overflow.
Over the comms, you hear the shotgun blast. KTP, your authorities arrive. The moment the authorities arrive, the sound of them is enough, and Pincer turns from you. You see the hand outstretched, almost as if they were about to take you. But then turn to hear the sirens, and some calculation happens where realize extricate you from this vehicle would mean too much time. So they just simply turn towards another wall in this building, run in and crash through and leave the area. Here you are splayed in the driver's seat. There is a hole in your stomach. Your breathing is ragged. You can feel the blood leaving you and with it warmth. The next few minutes are critical to see if the authorities or your friends can save you.
Can I touch Sphere?
And that's where we're going to leave our session.
Ah, fuck.
Welcome to season 3.
You know, it was so upbeat when we were still thinking of calling this episode the hand job. Oh, God damn it.
I'm giving you all 5 karma for tonight's game.
Can I take 5 karma from you?
Karma's a bitch.
Oh, yeah. This sure is a way to start us off, isn't it?
Any just.
As long as I can touch Sphere.
You're going to have to reach her first.
I know.
Reach them first. And that means you're going to have to make some rolls to climb
Yeah.
through debris. And I'm going to tell you straight away, you have limited time.
Yep.
That's something to solve next time.
Yeah.
Thank you all for joining us for the beginning of this season. It promises to be maybe not always as intense as someone asked, but 3 seasons in, the kiddie wheels are off. Or the gloves.
Oh, boy.
And thank you for
It's-
joining us. Thank you to those who are just followed. I hope that's correct. Salvage Bar, Pope World Build. Thank you for the follows. Thank you for the person who gifted 5 subs. Thank you all. This is the beginning of this arc. So we'll be back next time, like in a week or 2. Still getting our current schedule a bit organized, but definitely in 2 weeks we'll be here. Just depends if we'll be here next week as well. Keep an eye on Lawful Good Media or the Lawful Geek social media, and you'll be able to follow the game as we announce everything. Before we go, we'll go around the room again, and everyone can tell you who they are, who they were playing, and where you can find them in the dark corners of the internet. We'll start with Nico.
Hi, I'm Kat at Cleric of Cord on Twitter and lurking in various Discord servers. You can find me curled up sobbing in the corner for the next 2 weeks. Yeah, okay. And drinking heavily. But you know what? I'm so glad we're back because
Oh, God, yeah.
I've missed this so much. I've missed playing with these people.
Even after today?
Even after today. I've missed this so much. It hurts so good, Kevin. It hurts so good.
She's just here for the hand.
That's
I know.
Everyone watching, you'll realize the feeling of this party is the hurt me daddy.
We are the masochists. And
Kim and Pete.
Yeah.
I'm Pete. I play Grifter. And yeah, welcome back, right?
I'm Kim, and I play KTP the Technomancer. And hopefully, very, very hopefully, we might have some news for everyone next time we're back.
Awesome. And now, last but not least, our victim of the day.
Well, you can find me for the next couple of weeks hugging my fucking blowhigh and just not letting go. No, I am Diane. I am Balrog 1911 everywhere on the internet, even in some places where I wish I weren't still findable. Hi, Dune 2K forums from 15 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, that popped
That's
up
oddly
recently.
specific.
Turns out when you accidentally search, or when you search for something that basically the internet doesn't let me forget my past shame. It's a trip. Anyway, I do also stream on here, usually on Wednesdays and Sundays, which on Wednesdays is video games, and on Sundays I have begun a game of Brinkwood, Blood of Tyrants, which is also a tabletop game about essentially staking, drinking, and otherwise destroying the vampiric aristocracy of Cardenfell. It is such a fantastic game. We're one session in, and we were gonna play this weekend, and then I remembered I'm gonna be on the high seas because of a pride thing. So I'm gonna spend this weekend celebrating and partying and pretending that my character isn't bleeding to death in their own car. Thanks, Kevin. And I mean that sincerely. But also from the bottom of my heart. I'm stealing
I did tell you.
I
I prefaced this episode saying, you're going to hate me.
yeah.
I will say, you all chose to split up the party.
Yeah.
That's on you.
So, you know what we didn't choose? We didn't choose for me to have shit rolls. Anyway, it's been a pleasure to be back. As was already said, I have missed this group. I have missed this game. I have missed everything that is the chaos we bring to a table, and that is just uniquely us.
For those,
congratulations! You made me stress fight one of my tools.
you all can find me at The Lawful Geek on Twitter. Also, again, everything about the channel and games, please follow either myself, The Lawful Geek, or any of the wonderful people in this game, or just follow Lawful Good Media, and you'll be able to get all the information on this game, our D&D game, which is right now in between seasons. We'll begin season 2 soon enough. And we have a few other things coming down the pipeline in the next few weeks. Wait for those. And above all, thank you all for coming. Thank you all for watching. We hope you had a good time, and we will see you next time. Bye.